Good morning, censorship tube. So we're just leaving this little Thurston Bay, I believe it's called, on the east side of Sonora. Today I'm going to hit the Johnston Strait here for not a whole heck of a long time, but a wee bit. The goal here is to get to Blind Bay Resort on East Thorogood Island, I believe that's the name of it, just to get some fuel and hopefully a few supplies. There's supposed to be a shop there and a restaurant, so you know, at the very least, I kind of need some fuel and water if their store isn't open. If the store is open, I'll grab a few supplies while I'm there if possible. And then there's an anchorage right across from the resort on an island I don't know the name of. Maybe that's east, whatever. Anyways, there's an island or an anchorage on the island across, so right now I am motoring. I'm kind of in a bit of a hurry. There are some currents in Johnstone Strait, as well as the where this marina is located, and I'm just kind of on the end of the ebb tide right now. So I think at about 11 a.m. it'll turn to the flood and start working against me. So yeah, I'm not going to waste a lot of time, you know, sailing at 1 knot right away. The winds are supposed to get between 10 and 20 in the Johnstone Strait this afternoon, but I'm not sure that I'll even be in the strait for that. So this could very well be a bunch of motoring today. I do have, you know, the halyard attached to the main, so it's ready to raise if the wind comes up, but I really can't be you know, wasting a lot of time here. So yeah, that's that. I'll let this play out for a wee bit because I was out of memory when I came in here, so going through a lot of debris right at the minute, so I like to you know, hit neutral and not have the prop spinning, just in case. You never know what could be hanging out a few inches below the surface. Definitely an advantage to sailing. You don't have to worry about the prop getting, you know, hitting stuff. I'm almost certain that straight ahead is Vancouver Island. If not, it'll be just around the corner. But yeah, mainland here where I was anchored, or sorry, Sonora Island. Mainland is just, you know, on the right hand side mainly. Pretty sure I said that backwards. I'm currently fighting a small flood tide. I lost about a half a knot. kind of necessary for the next hour, and then I'll ride the remainder of the ebb through the Johnstone Strait. Hopefully sailing is my plan. I think I said flood instead of ebb earlier. But yeah, that's kind of the method to my madness right now. So straight ahead is Vancouver Island. To the right is Johnstone Strait. To the left is Discovery Passage, I do believe. And this island directly right of me is the East Thurlow, which I'll be anchoring on the east side of, I guess. And as far as Blind Bay Resort, I have no idea what the island's called. It's not, Navionics doesn't tell me. So, no idea. Whatever it is, it's there. Alright, so just hitting the Johnstone Strait here, got a bit of wind. So yeah, just got the sails. Well, I've tried sailing a few times now, and this is the first time it's actually been successful. So I think I'm moving at about 3 knots right now, so whatever. I can tack back and forth as long as the wind keeps up. Basically, I want to get to Blind Bay by like 11 a.m. For current purposes, but whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It won't be a big deal. It's not any kind of like rapid section or anything. This is kind of a, I guess you'd call it like a heavy commercial kind of area as far as other vessels. Traffic separation, all those kind of schemes don't start for a little ways anyways. I'll be heading up a different, I think it's called main channel, before any of those traffic separation zones come into effect, so I don't really have to worry about those today. If at all, I might kind of take the back roads, I guess, but yeah, that's yet to be seen. My best guess is it's probably, 6 knots of wind right now, somewhere in that area. All I can ever do is look at waves. I don't have any of the instruments. I've probably said that several times already, but that's enough to get me. I'm going like 3.1, 3.2-ish knots right now, so that's fine and dandy. Like I said, I've got, it's 8 a.m. now. I've got till 11 a.m. It would be nice to get there. I don't necessarily have to. As long as I can sail, let's say over 2 knots, I'll be sailing. Because, yeah, whatever. I can deal with some current when I go to the fuel dock. That won't be the end of the world. If the fuel dock is open, I don't even know that yet. But either the wind is dying down right now, or I'm just in the, in the shadow of something or other. But yeah, definitely slowing down at the current second. Yeah, the wind is definitely dying at the minute. I'm just, not even hitting a knot. I'm at 0.8 right now. And I can just see the sea is quite a bit calmer than it was not too many minutes ago. So I suspect there's going to be some more motoring in the future. Sadly. So I just kind of brought the Genoa in a wee bit because it does hit the spreaders when it's, I'm trying to go upwind and I tighten it down. It hits the spreader and kind of ruins the sail shape. So that's why I just took a few wraps in and it's now not hitting the spreader. So I think it should benefit. I don't really know, but it seems logical. Always experimenting. I can only assume that this Genoa was like a second-hand purchase and it's not actually sized for this boat. Because it is, awfully large, as I've stated before, and it does kind of interfere with the standing rigging. So leads me to believe it was probably came used from a different size boat. Well, there's going to be a lot more tacking here before I get anywhere, and scenery won't change much, so I'm going to turn you all off for now. Alright, we have a wee change of scenery here, going up the main channel, this is called, to Blind Bay Resort for fuel, and then across the channel to whatever the anchorage is called. Tomorrow's supposed to be, well, actually tonight, this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow are going to be rain and high wind in the strait, so I'm going to plan to stay in this anchorage until, Friday most likely. Just wait out that high wind and rain. No reason to travel in foul weather if I don't need to. A little bit of wind is nice so I can actually sail. As you can tell, the motor is running right now. Pretty well dead calm here. I did get here on time to take advantage of the current to help me, it's going to move me along in the right direction. and by the time I get there, if I continue at this speed, it'll be slack tide to you know, make docking easy at the fuel bay. But I did have to fight a bit of current on the way up. Just the way she goes, it was either fight current here or fight current there, so whatever. Either way, it was going to be a fight, unless I left at like midnight, which, you know, I'm not going to night sail for no reason. And as you can tell, I do need to steer because, yeah, I was just going all over the place while I was up there talking. I'd really like to sail right now, but I mean, there just is not any wind. So yeah, I'll just kind of idle here, or not idle, but I'm nowhere near full RPM. I'm like 1800 RPM right now, so about half, I guess. There's only like 2.7 nautical miles to get me where I'm going, so a wee bit less than an hour at this pace. So I wasn't in any kind of hurry at this point in time, as you kind of heard me mention there. I had read on Navionics or in a guidebook, whatever, somewhere I read that it could be a pain in the ass docking because there are some strong currents that run through there, so I was trying to get there at slack tide. Turns out a bit of wind did come. I got to play with some wing on wing, or whatever you want to call it, with sloop rig. So yeah, I think I ended up getting there late. I'm gonna say it here right away. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, there was a dude at the dock that helped me out, so it was all good. I just always planned to be, you know, my own dock attendant, so when you know, strong winds and strong currents can make that pretty difficult when you're single-handed and you're not relying on help. But luckily he was there, so it all worked out good, and I was pretty much at slack tide when I got there anyways. As usual, the experienced sailor might be cringing right now, but I just do what works, and at the time this works. As long as I steer. I'm just going to turn this off and let it charge for a wee bit so I can have some battery to, you know, for docking and fuel purposes. Alright, so we're about to dock. I didn't really think ahead enough to move the camera, so I don't know how much you'll see, but there's, you know, the resort is coming up on the left-hand side here. Port side of the boat. There's a small float plane hanging out, and not much else as far as there's a power boat by the looks of it. I was able to sail until right about now. I just started the engine right before I put the camera on, so that all worked out pretty well as far as this little bit of the main channel worked. I really have no idea if this place is even open. Hopefully they are, because I do need fuel and water, but we'll find out. Normally, you know, you could call ahead or use the radio, but cell phone coverage is minimal and my radio is kind of garbage. I guess this is as good a time as any. One thing that is appealing here, there's an 800-year-old, I believe it's a cedar. It's one of the older trees in BC. So that'll be cool to go have a look at. Hopefully I can find that. And then yeah, over that way where that sailboat is, will be the anchorage for the night. I did get the fenders out on the port side as usual while I was sailing, so basically I just have to you know, jump out and tie myself off. So at this point in time I've been sailing or on the water for about 5 hours. This is 15 nautical miles. And the sailboat I just mentioned is a guy named Liam I actually met right here for the first time. He's on his way to Alaska, was his kind of goal, so I'll run into him again in the next coming days, but interesting to see him and talk to him. If you notice the flags there on the left hand side, there is quite a bit of wind blowing here. I'm pretty sure the current was right around slack at this time, so yeah, there was some wind, but as I said previously, there was a guy here to help me, and we'll be seeing him right away. We'll just flash a quick little map here in a minute to show you where I'm at and what's left of this day. So this here trail is going to lead me to an 800-year-old cedar. There was a pretty large black bear on the shoreline about a half hour ago, so hopefully we don't run into that fella. But so far so good as far as me and wildlife is concerned, so I'm not overly worried. But yeah, I'm just going to follow this trail until I find a big old tree. Then I'll turn you all back on and see it with me. This particular slug is awfully pretty for a slug. Pretty decent size little boy. You know, a finger. Hey little fella. Still following the trail here. Have not yet gotten to the large tree. But it's not looking like it's too far ahead. There is a map that I'll include in this little bit of video somewhere along the way. I really have no idea if this, 800-year-old cedar is going to be extremely large diameter or just really tall. Kind of curious to find that out. Beautiful little kind of rainforest area here. The nice little trail. Ooh, I would say that could very well be Mr. Old Tree right there. He is definitely large. I do believe that would be the fella. I can only assume. I can't really say 100% certainty, but it is a large old tree there. I have a squirrel somewhere. Not sure where. I can hear him. Wow. That is one massive tree. Sorry about the lighting to try to get right on up there, but yeah, we can climb right on inside of this friend. There's some sunlight in my little abyss here. Not sure if you'll see me, but hello, Mr. Tree. And I think I can just kind of loop back around and come down where I started if I continue. I'm just trying to find a spot I can actually rest my phone here where you can still see what's going on, just to get an idea of the size. You know, I've got 6 feet arm span, so use your judgment. It's large. Cool. And I found another giant slug friend. I'll just show you all that. Well, this big boy. Hello, friend. He's obviously bigger than the last guy, but not quite as colorful. Nice little boy you find in the jungle here. Just try to give you a better idea here. Our friend has kind of lost some of his height over the years, it looks like, but there is still plenty of new growth coming out of him. It looks like the main kind of, I don't even know what you call it, but it's been knocked down, hit by lightning, whatever, some time ago by the looks of it. But definitely still supporting new growth. So. I'm starting to believe that this is probably the big boy. Come to think of it, this fellow looks like he's doing a little better, and he does have a bench here, so I guess there's a couple giant old trees here. Yeah, this would definitely be the one I came to see, I think. Yeah, this is one heck of a gorgeous tree. I do believe these plaques are the people that own the field dock and resort sort of thing there. I would guess probably right at the base here is got to be 15 feet, give or take. That would be diameter, so I guess circumference is going to be about 45 feet. Somewhere around there, 50 feet right at the base. Is one large boy. Very beautiful tree. I got a little excited there on the way up, thinking that the first guy was. Alright, we'll do the old arm stretch again. So yeah, as you can see, 6 feet plus a couple of me. Massive, beautiful tree that. And some fungi friends. We do have a little creek, river, whatever you want to call it. That'll be the end of this video. Certainly not the end of this day, so stay tuned for the rest of this day. And as always, thanks for watching.